The record low voter turnout and the outcome of the local government elections held in Lagos last weekend have set tongues wagging. Many blame low participation in the polls on voters' dissatisfaction with the electoral process and the political hegemony of former Lagos State Governor Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The lack of confidence in the polls meant that the ruling All Progressive Congress swept all 20 chairmanship seats and 377 councillorship seats, save for 2 during the elections. All the APC chairmen and councillor-elect are believed to have been handpicked by Tinubu. So joining us now to give us his assessments of the local government elections and why he's on the quest to end Tinubu's political stranglehold, Nigeria's commercial capital, is a member of the APC and founder of Lagos for Lagos movement, Abdul-Azeez Olajide Adediran, popularly known as Jandor. He will also comment on the forthcoming APC Nationwide WARD Congress this weekend. Welcome to the show, Mr. Adediran. Let's go straight to it. What happened? I know you had a Lagos for Lagos rally recently that was beamed live on television. What happened, and what faction of the APC do you represent?
Thank you very much. Yes, we had a rally very recently, and that rally is to showcase and to tell everybody who cares to listen that in Lagos APC, not all of us are choose, in the hand of a particular leader or a group. Just to tell the world that we have some of us who have decided to do something differently. We have decided to say it's either you return selection choices to us as members of the party, or we do the needful, or we look for, self-help. So that rally, and everybody at that rally, are intending party officers who are ready to be part of the World Congress that is going to take place tomorrow, all things being equal. The rally in question is to send that signal out that everything that played out during the local government primary elections, which turned out to be a slot being given to individual, because that is what happened. That some of us, we actually took exception to that, and we're ready to do everything humanly possible to ensure that going forward in APC, especially in Lagos, we do the right thing, and the right thing is upheld always. So Lagos for Lagos movement is a movement that seeks to change the status quo in the state of Lagos. We want a Lagos where all of us, irrespective of where we're from, can decide to say, this is the person that we wish to represent us. We want a Lagos where popular candidates, if you're popular in your locality, you fly people's mandates. We don't want a Lagos, we're tired of a Lagos where an unpopular candidate will be imposed on those that are popular, and somebody will railroad everybody and say, go and work for the party. No, we're not doing that anymore in Lagos. This is what Lagos for Lagos is all about. The rally in question is to tell them that we're not just talking. We are members of this party, and our numerical strengths cannot be questioned. And that is what we put, we put out on that rally. And for the local government election proper, you have seen the outcome. So for us, that's members' take on the whole exercise from primary to the election proper. We also what happened. We had an election, local government election, without resistance, because we put it that way, and look at the outcome of that election. If you ask us today that what is our numerical strength as member in the party based on the previous registration, we'll be telling you over 3 million, 2 million, and all of that. And we had a local government election. We struggle to pull out 500,000 across the states. That's to tell everybody, who cares to know that something is wrong within that party, and we must act fast. And this is for the national to take note. We know we are not the only tendencies in APC, there are other ones, but the outcome of the local government election, which everybody usually believes it's a ruling party affair, turned out to be what we witnessed, that disaster that we witnessed, is enough to send signal to everybody that, look, all is not well within that party, and we need to do something as a matter of fact. urgency. So this is what Lagos for Lagos is doing. For the past 6 years, we've been on this, telling everybody, campaigning, going everywhere, to say, you know what, in 2023, we're going to reject a godfather offer of another puppet, across all elective positions. We want to elect our own leaders. We want to be the one to be responsible for those that will be leading us, so that they will know that in the coming election, if they refuse to do the needful, we will still be the one to change them. But today, what do we have? They don't care about us as members. They don't care about us as citizens, because they know that we didn't choose them. Okay, and they know they are coming back won't be by us.
Mr. Adediran, can you hear me? Great. Let's just go straight to it, please. What faction of the APC in Lagos are you? I asked you that question. Once you settle that for me, so we know what we're dealing with here. What faction are you of the APC?
We are Lagos for Lagos movement.
Lagos for Lagos faction?
Yes, yes. In
faction?
The APC.
Okay,
yes,
so
Lagos for Lagos movement, yes, okay. Within the APC.
And is there any possibility that if your demands are not met, you might break away from the APC in Lagos?
We're not making demand of anybody. There are guidelines, is that let us go to field and test our popularity. It's not about demand. We're saying that we have the numerical strength, we can slug it out with anybody if democracy remains a game of numbers. So there is nobody demanding anything of anybody. We're saying as party members, take for instance, the Congress of tomorrow is where we stand to say, okay, we will change the disaster we have in the state of Lagos today in the name of party structure and party escorts. By so doing, so that we can elect fresh energies, new ideas, those, that we paddle the affairs of the party to where we want to go. It's not about demanding anybody. We don't want you to give us. We're not demanding. We say, let us do the needful and sit down and look at what we want to do. Even if we want to sit on the round table, we would sit down and tell you, this is what we want. We don't want to return to this whole issue of us not having a say within our locality on who governs us. Look at what is happening. Everybody during that local government election, it happened to us as well, because all our members were disqualified. Yes, of course, as a body, we did not participate, and because we knew that if we know them very well, that is what's going to happen. But individual members who felt, okay, they can do it, I said to them, okay, fine, but this is our stand as a body. So they disqualified all of them because they are of the Lagos for Lagos movement. The only one that came back to us and said, look, they've also disqualified me, but I need to seek your permission to test my popularity elsewhere. And the guy left to PDP. Today, he is the only PDP councillor in the entire Lagos state. It's from Yaba LCD, G, Iwaya Ward. That is to tell them that this is what we've been saying. We are popular in our locality. We've worked to get to that level. And that guy went to put his popularity to test, and he defeated them.
Mr. David, let me ask you to make some clarifications, because what you are saying is that the APC in Lagos has been fielding unpopular candidates, yet they win the election. How exactly is that happening? And when you say you're tired and you want to change the status quo, at what was the turning point for you? Some would say this was also for self-preservation and your ambition as well to taste power, to get to power. So what exactly was the turning point for you? When did you realize that your party was in this state of a mess?
I said they've been imposing unpopular candidate over popular candidate. And you said, yes, yet they've been winning. I will tell you how we go about it. The moment that is done, what they do is to return to all of us as party members and tell us, go and work for the party. They've done that over and over again. But, there is a terminal point at which you will say no to everything. So I think we've gotten to that point where we will say, you know what, enough of you, telling us this person is who you are going to support and railroad all of us to go and follow them. We have not seen any result in terms of development in the state as a result of that, because these people revert only to you, not to us as members or the people of the state. Now, talking about my ambition, excuse me, there is nothing wrong in anybody having an ambition. If you don't have aspiration, then you are dead. Now, what we're saying is this. We've tried this in 2018, where we had a faction of the party, broke out. What happened then? Because there was no destination. We couldn't get anywhere. But this time there's a destination. If you ask all of us, where is our tomorrow, they can point at our direction to say, this is our tomorrow. Until we get that executive power, we'll be able to right all these wrongs. What they are using against us is because today they have that executive power at their disposal. And that is what we want to change. So it's not about me saying somebody should come and endorse or do whatever it is. No, it's about us as Lagos for Lagos movement going everywhere for the past 6 years, telling Lagosians that, you know what, you can know who wants to govern you 2, 4, 5 years before that time. As against being introduced, somebody introduced to you 6 months to election and say, this is your governor and follow it. We are doing, that is what we're doing with Lagos for Lagos movement. Of course, it's about our Lagos. It's about a Lagos that will work for everyone in Lagos. It's not just about me, but somebody must take the lead. And I found myself here, and I'm taking it.
Well, Adediran, let me ask you quickly. When the governor of Lagos State, when he was inaugurating this new set of chairmen and councillors, he made one point. He says, or rather he said, this is the dawn of a new era for Lagos State. Do you share that view? And he went a step further to say that the party is successful in Lagos State because of the leadership that has been provided by Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He was very specific. Do you share that view? And then, of course, when you say Lagos for Lagos movement, it's a faction. Who are the other people behind that faction? Could you identify them? Because certainly it cannot be a one-man faction. Who are the other key politicians in Lagos State that are with you?
Thank you very much. Let me start from the governor's statement. You see, if you're a beneficiary of a bad system, of course, you won't see nothing wrong in it. So what do you expect a governor that was introduced to all of us 6 months to election and rerouted to follow him to say? The governor said the local government election, the just concluded local government election, a new dawn. A new dawn? How is that a new dawn? That is what I don't understand. That election, from the process, the selection process to the day of the election, we consider it embarrassment. To everybody who carries the membership card of the party from the state to national. That is not what we want, an APC that we want, as far as that is concerned. Where it can go ahead and praise, whoever. It doesn't really matter. Like I said, if he's a beneficiary, you don't expect him to do anything short of that. Of course, during our rally, you saw by our side the former secretary to the government of Lagos State, who is fearless, who is there to say, this is where I am. And I can tell you, we have numerous of such people in that category, in our camp. But you should understand. No, I won't give you names. Very soon.
Why?
Why not?
Why not?
Very soon, you will see them to come. I didn't give you the name of Princess Adelele Ogunsoya. She came on air, to say, okay, I am here. I am the apex chairman of this body. So very soon we will unveil that. And let me even say to you, in case you don't know, in their camps, we have numerous foot soldiers in their own camps. Because of what it is today, everybody is careful. We understand. In their 60s, in their 70s, where do you want them to start? I am 43. Okay, let them do whatever they want to do. We are still building. We'll continue to build. But again, somebody must stand up to say enough. And this is what Lagos for Lagos is all about. We're saying enough. We want a Lagos where you will see that huge amount of money that we go around to say we make on a monthly basis reflect on the streets of Lagos. We don't want that money in the pocket of an individual anymore.
Okay, Mr. Adediran, real quickly. I would have loved for you to name them because, you see, you had a big rally. And I'm not sure that rally, the money for the rally came out of one person's pocket, the mobilization fee. We know the way politics happen. And all of this is leading to 2023. So I know there were some heavy, colossal investments that gave you that rally that was beamed on television, covered on TV, with all the costs for about an hour. So I would like you to name, so we know.
No,
hang on a minute. Secondly, where's the path in all of this? Is it the PDP? Because you're saying executive power. So obviously, if you don't get what you want, which you might not, based on political posturing, then you guys might be going to the PDP. So is it that you're going to go to the PDP to be able to have a coalition to get executive power from the reins of the incumbent? Is that what you are saying? So let's know this clear path. Bring it all to the table, my friend. What are you afraid of? Tell us. Bring it up.
We're not afraid of anything.
Okay. Show me.
We're in the APC, okay? We're going to struggle it out in the APC, and trust us, this time is going to be different, and we will, take that and be on the ballot for the general election. You can take that to anywhere you want to take it to. We'll do everything. We'll put a stop to that impunity, and this you can take from us. And again, of course, because everybody believes that, and that is what they've been, scaring us away with, that you can't go into this trade because you don't have money, they are going to kill you and all of those things. And they feel that money can only come from a money bag or a money bag politicians to get things done. Excuse me, in all the 57 local government and LCDA in Lagos and all the 377 wards, we have foot soldiers. At least in our audited register, we have at least 250 per ward. You can multiply that with 377. With our contribution of 1,000 naira monthly, what do you think we spend in that place? What do we spend money for? Did we call Wasiu Ayinde that they will call, that will collect 10 million naira from them? No, we didn't do that. We had the rally ourselves. All the people that stood on the stage as compare, the members of the Lagos for Lagos movement. We didn't hire anything aside from getting our people to the venue from our collective wealth that we contributed. Again, what do we do? We share Coke and Fanta to ourselves for refreshment. Nobody share money to anybody. That is what they do. Okay. But in this one, it is our game because we had that conviction that we have to do this thing differently. And this is the result that we had on our rally. Yes.
Very quickly, let's listen to a soundbite from a member of your party at the national level ahead of the World Congresses scheduled to hold for tomorrow. And we'll be back to talk some more.
We have electoral committee that will come from Abuja to come conduct this Congress. It is the duty of the committee to look at what we have in the state and say, okay, I think there are one or two warring factions. How do we come together if we want to do consensus? For us in Lagos for Lagos, if we feel we're not okay, we're not comfortable with whatever sharing formula that will bring about this consensus, we have the backing of the law and the concern of the party that we should go to field. We have expressed our own readiness by paying for forms, by having all our tellers there, and we're expecting the delegation from Abuja to give us the form. But that notwithstanding, we've spoken to all our members and intending party officers that bearing any changes or what have you, Saturday is the Congress day. They're going to take this and file out and see how we can do this. So we're not part of the meeting called at 2 p.m. because the body that called that meeting is not known to us, okay, and we can't take directive from such a body.
Okay, apologies for that mix-up. That was actually you, Mr. Adediran, there at a press conference. You mentioned a group. You said there was a meeting for 2 a.m. and you do not agree with them, but there was also a directive from the national body of your party saying that direct consensus primaries should be adopted where possible. What do you have against consensus primaries?
Well, it's not called direct consensus primary. The party, which is the normal thing to do, that where you can sit and look at all the warring factions coming together to decide a sharing formula that will make us have a united front, then go into consensus. If you then feel that, no, it won't work, then there must be primaries, there must be Congress, where everybody will vote for whoever they like. So the meeting I was referring to was called by a body called Governors Advisory Council, that all party members should go to their respective wards, go and draw lists, share it, and all of that. And because the body in question is not known to the constitution of our party, APC, and also the body in questions, I'm not aware if the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria also recognizes that body. So as party members, we can't take directive from such body. And if the name of the body is anything to go by, which is Governor's Advisory Council, I want to believe they should limit themselves to advising the governor. There are a lot of things that is not going on well in Lagos, like traffic, robbery, and all of these things. They should advise the governor to do the needful in containing all of this, rather than coming into the party issues of which they do not have any constitutional role to play. So if that is what I spoke to in that interview, because they called for a meeting 2 p.m. yesterday, and as far as we are concerned, you are not the National Working Committee, you are not the caretaker committee at the level of the state. And I even said at that meeting, if it was the caretaker chairman in Lagos that called for such a meeting, we won't even mind his integrity deficit. We would have gone and said, okay, he's still the chairman, despite all the things that he had in his, what's it called? We will still have done. Not that body. That body is not known to us. And that's what we spoke to in that. We don't have any issues with consensus. We want to sit down, we want to know who we are sitting down with. And we want to know what they've got, because with the local government election, it's so certain. You can see that they don't have the people. We have the people.
We're running out of time. If you can do this in less than a minute, do you think, as a member of the All Progressives Congress, that the Congress's ward and local government should go on tomorrow, given the concern that has been expressed about the status of the chairman of the National Caretaker Committee in the Ondo State governorship election case?
You see, in our party, we're so blessed with numerous senior lawyers. You know, even in the government that our party is representing today, we're so blessed with numerous senior lawyers. We have Abubakar Malami. We have the vice president, we have Minister Factional. You know, all of these guys are senior lawyers, and I'm sure at this point they would have, sat together, reviewed this whole issue before we can take a decision as a party. I'm not a lawyer, but of course they're juggernauts. So if they come together and the governors and they say, and even Festus Yamu that said otherwise also is a senior lawyer, and I'm sure at some point every one of them would have sat around the table before a decision is taken. So as far as we are concerned, but if you're asking for my personal opinion, really, if it's my personal opinion, I would say if we still want to subject what we have now to another litigation or, judiciary interpretation, why do we need to go through that route? We should play safe, if we can play safe, and see what we can do so that if tomorrow comes, we won't come back to have a problem. But I believe in these men that I just mentioned, Abubakar Malami, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Professor Shibajo, and Minister Fashola. I believe in all of them as senior lawyers, and I know they're very, very intelligent. They would have advised the NEC of the party and Mr. President and everybody involved, on the right thing to do. So the position of the party, whichever way it comes out from, I want to believe they must have done their due diligence on that. So
well, as we wrap up, will it be correct to say, well, less than 24 hours to the proposed congresses in your party, that the party is in a state of confusion? Would that be correct?
No, the party is not in a state of confusion.
Really? When there's even no clarity about tomorrow's proposed congresses?
It's going on. As far as we speak, as we speak, the Congress is going on tomorrow. If anything will change, the party will tell us that, okay, something will change. Even if we change, from tomorrow, it doesn't mean there is a confusion. We're just trying to put our house in order. So the party is not in any form of confusion.
Thank you very much, Abdul-Azeez Adediran, for joining us on the morning show. Thank you very much indeed.